I think, we're more than capable of scoring, at least 300 on a wicket like that out here. So, yeah, frustrating, but can't dwell on it too much. And it was nice to get a wicket there at the end of the day.
Has it been difficult to sort of put behind you what happened in the previous 2 Test matches, sort of as a collective batting unit?
We sit down as a group, and we say we get rid of that. They sort of try and put that all behind us, but it is a lot easier said than done. But I think early on it was pretty apparent that we weren't going to get anything like we did on day 1 in the last Test. I felt early on this morning and this afternoon it was more the bounce that was an issue rather than the turning in. But as the day got older, the ball started to spin a little bit more. But I think, I know overall it's a much better wicket than it was the last game we played here. So yeah, we're just disappointed not to still be back.
Are you doubly frustrated because you got in and weren't able to go on, you personally?
I was very frustrated that I'd spent 2.5 hours, playing for, trying to avoid getting out to a straight ball, and I ended up getting out to a straight ball. So that's what I'm frustrated at.
And physically, how are you? The talk of a stomach upset. Are you fully 100% fit to bowl and field and continue in the game?
I won't go into details, but I've had better days.
And just one final thing from me, Ben. There was some words between you and Virat Kohli early on in your innings. Can you enlighten us on what that was about?
It's 2 professionals showing that they care about the sport that they love and enjoy playing. A lot gets said these days when 2 guys seem to come to words out in the middle. Completely nothing toward as I'd hope that's what was seen, because it wasn't. But yeah, that's just 2 blokes who care what they do, and 2 guys who definitely don't back down.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you.
Jamie Weir from Sky Sports News, please.
Hello, Ben. Sorry, I can't seem to work my video. Is the overall feeling in the changing room at the moment that it was good Indian bowling or poor England batting that meant you only got 205?
We actually haven't got to that point yet because I got rushed off straight to do media, so I don't really know what the chats is. But I think it's probably a bit of both. But cricket's a great sport where the outcome of something is what's commented on. We wanted to go out and play in a certain way as a batting group, and our execution let us down today. So yeah.
Just me.
Still batting because we felt that it's a good wicket to bat.
I think we're having a few Wi-Fi issues, but I'll ask another question. Are we?
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, my image is frozen. Oh, right, we're back now. Just to follow up to Simon's question about your condition as well, we appreciate not going into too many of the grisly details, but how much is it limiting what you can do? I mean, do you think you'll be able to, obviously as the second seamer in the team, play a full Test match with uninhibited?
I'll tell the truth. I'll just have to wait and see day by day.
Okay, Ben, thank you.
Rory Dollard, please.
Hi, Ben. I wonder if you can talk us through the makeup of the team as vice captain, what the thinking was, lengthening the batting order and sort of leaving yourself one bowler shy of where you were last week.
I think if you look at the scorecard of the last Test match, they'll probably give you all the answers that you need. We felt that Seam isn't going to offer as much in terms of being a threat, more of a holding role, and then obviously playing the extra spinner because of how the conditions we were faced with last time. And it's definitely a better wicket than the last Test match, but I think as the day progressed, you could see that the ball started to spin more, and it was more bounce at the start of the day. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when the sun starts to dry this wicket out, and obviously lengthening the batting lineup is something that we've taken away from the last Test match, having that extra batter in case we are facing similar conditions.
Was there any situation with Jofra? We see that he's got an issue with the elbow still ongoing. Was that part of the decision, or was that a separate issue to the balance of the team?
I think with Jofra, just plain and simple, someone's injured, they can't play.
Dean Wilson, please.
Yeah, hi Ben. Sorry, I just wondered whether, with the balance of the team, whether you felt that was the best option you had of both winning the game, taking 20 wickets, or whether it was a case of trying to stay in the game and take it as deep as possible before hopefully trying to nick it. The game plan really is what I'm looking for.
Sorry, mate, that was sorry, Dino. 20. Say that again, mate.
It was a follow-up really on the balance of the team, obviously going for the extra batter rather than the bowler to take 20 wickets to win the game. Is the idea to stay in the game as long as possible to then try and do something at the back end?
I think now that we've unearthed a genuine all-rounder in Ruti, it adds to our bowling strength. But I think having the extra batter in there, obviously it does. I think that's probably going to be more of a bonus coming into our second innings because the pitch is going to be a lot more used. And then me and Jimmy sort of use as a holding role, me potentially to be sort of a bit more aggressive if needed to. And then we've got the Leachy and Bessie who are going to come into the game, obviously, as the Test match goes on. And then Ruti can hopefully come on and get 5 for 8.
That would be nice, I'm sure. I just also wondered from a kind of batting perspective, have you detected from yourself and the other players that the challenge of scoring runs in India is something that everyone is kind of really keen to get their teeth into and learn from this rather than being kind of consumed by such difficult conditions?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've played 70 odd games now, and I've told a few of our younger batters in the team that this is the hardest. These are the hardest conditions that I've faced as a batsman, and obviously I've played all around the world. So yeah, I don't think it's necessary. It's a case of finding it in your own way. It's not about coming together as a group and saying, right, this is what we need to do better as a group. This is what we need to do better as a group. It's about how can we go away from this as individuals, and then when we come back here next time, how have we progressed as an individual player, not as a group of batsmen, because everyone plays in a different way. I have got a game plan out here, which is going to be completely different to Joe Root's game plan, which is going to be completely different to Dom Sibley's game plan. But if the outcome of those game plans means that we score runs, then happy days.
Thanks.
4 more questions now, please. Andrew Miller, Chris Stokes, Shashwat and Nikhil. Andrew Miller first, please.
Hi Ben, I was going to ask something similar to Dino about the game plan, but you kind of touched on it earlier, saying you tend to get judged by outcomes rather than inputs in this game, and obviously you got Zach Crawley charging down the pitch and getting out, but equally you got Ollie Pope making an effort to get on the front foot and getting out of the crease to some effect. Is that sort of stuff you're talking about? The the change of approach that has had to go into this sort of learning on the hoof, and you can't read too much into when it goes wrong if you're trying. Is that the sort of stuff you're looking at?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a fickle sport, cricket. It's why we love it. It's such a leveler, cricket. I've always felt that. If Zach puts that into Rose End, everyone's saying what a great shot because the outcome was 6. But unfortunately, on this occasion, the outcome for him was he didn't quite manage to get it, hit it straight in the air, and that happens. As batsmen, you have to take risks to score runs, and that's how Zach chose to go about it today. And we can't hold that against him. He had the backing of the whole dressing room, and because he's hit one up in the air early on, what are we going to pull him into the room and say never run down the wicket again? No.
Cool, nice one.
Chris Stokes, please.
Hi, Ben. I just wondered if we could have a word on the performance of Dan Lawrence today and what you obviously said are very, very tough conditions.
I think coming into the team in a completely different position to what he's used to, obviously, playing so many games at Essex and then the run he's had in the team so far. Spoons actually mentioned to me outside that when he told him when he was playing, he said, "Look, I know it's not where you want to be batting, but this is what it is." And his reply was, "I don't care where I'm batting, I'm playing." To have that attitude is, at a young age, and the keenness to just want to play, even though it's a complete alien position to him, is such a good trait to have. And it was refreshing seeing him go out and stick to the way that has got him into this team, especially after I think he would be disappointed with the runs that he's got with the opportunities in India so far. But I think we've seen a small glimpse of the talent that Dan Lawrence has. I remember the first time I seen him in Southampton in our bubble, I was very impressed. I think we've seen a glimpse of what he can offer in the single lineup.
Thanks.
Shashwat, please.
Good evening, Ben.
Hello.
So on the broadcast just a few minutes ago, Siraj suggested that you said something to him after he bowled the first bouncer to put to you. What was that conversation all about? It seemed pretty animated from the outside.
Pretty animated, was that?
Yeah. So from the outside, the conversation felt pretty animated.
Yeah, I was just checking what you said. Yeah, I mean, look, Phil, nowadays in cricket, it's a massive talking point when you see two opponents, having a word with each other. People seem to, I don't know, not lose their heads, but just seem to think it's all wrong. But look at it from a different way. That's 2-3 guys who care about what they're doing, who care about who they're representing, playing against each other. And why would we're competitors, so we're not going to back down to anyone, whoever it be. So it'd be nice to see it written up as 2 competitors going toe to toe and not one's backing down, because for me that's what it was. Competitive guys trying to get one over each other.
Okay, so as a slight follow-up to that question, so you've often come up trumps for England whenever the situation has been at its most adverse. So is there some different sort of preparation that you do, or is it just a matter of you having less of a cluttered mind as opposed to everything else that enables you to perform?
Do you get anyone? Could you just say that a little bit slower, please?
Yeah, so I was talking about you coming up trumps whenever England have needed, especially you talk about the World Cup final or the famous Headingley test. So do you prepare for these kinds of situations differently, or what is your approach heading into such situations?
No, I just, you're going to be faced with similar situations, but they're never going to be the few and far between. I've played enough games now to be exposed to those different situations, so sort of getting an understanding of what's needed, and that comes with experience. You almost don't feel flustered as maybe I don't feel as flustered as maybe I would have done if I'd only played 10-15 games in that situation. If anything, I'm more disappointed that I managed to get myself in on a wicket and get out. you know, 50 is not really winning you. Well, it's never going to win you a test match. So yeah, I was very disappointed to sort of get in on that wicket, start feeling comfortable, and then get out in the way I did, especially because I spent, you know, 2.5 hours protecting myself from the ball that skids on, and I ended up getting out to a ball that skids on. So I was very frustrated with myself.
Just finally, Nikhil from PTI, please.
Yeah, hi Ben. Just one extension of the question what Shashwat asked. Ravichandran Ashwin had dismissed you many times in this series. So when you went today to bat, were you on a different mindset to face him, or how did you go about it, thinking that the same bowler had probably dismissed you many times? What was your mindset today facing Ashwin particularly?
Not a lot. Bowlers are there to get batters out, and batters are there to score runs. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. You come to India, you're going to face a lot of Ashwin, so he's got more chance of getting you out. But I don't read into the fact that he's got me out that many times. It is what it is. Someone's there to get you out. That's probably what I've got on that matter. He's a fantastic bowler, obviously, but it's his job to get batters out.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Take care, and speak to you tomorrow.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.
Thank you.
Cheers.